Hey guys, Zack here, and welcome back to another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Bandai movie monster series Godzilla 1991. Now, this version of Godzilla comes from the 1991 film Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, which is one of my favorites, just like how I said, last week I said Terror of Mechagodzilla was one of my favorites. Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, is another movie I enjoy. There are some things I would have done differently. I think the whole time travel thing, I think that gets a little, I don't want to say redundant, but it gets a little, I don't know. I think they could have handled the time travel stuff a little differently, but for the most part, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah is a movie that I really enjoy. I know there are people online who don't like this movie, which is fair. Like, this movie, it's not perfect, but, it's still a movie that I genuinely enjoy. So, yeah. Anyway, great news. We are finally done with the Godzilla store exclusives. This is a figure that you can buy anywhere, such as Hobby Link Japan, or any other online store that sells Bandai vinyls, or most of them anyway. So yeah, and this figure, it's still kind of pricey, but not as bad as like 55 bucks or 45 or whatever. So yeah. So thankfully, we're done with the Godzilla store exclusives. So yeah. I don't really have anything else to say, so honestly, let's just get right into this. Of course, before getting to the actual figure itself, let's take a quick look at his card. Now, on the front here, we have a nice picture of Godzilla from the movie, and below we have Godzilla 1991, and as well as the Godzilla 2021 emblem right there, or logo, whatever you want to say. On the back, we have Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, movie monster series, Bandai, and a nice silhouette of Godzilla's dorsal plates. And on the inside, we just have some legal information with a pretty alright looking silhouette of Godzilla there, so yeah, that's pretty much it for the card. Going to the actual figure, we will now be taking a look at the paint, and the painting on this figure is very nice. It's not the best looking paint I've seen on a Bandai vinyl, but overall I think the painting on this figure is still very solid, so let's take a closer look. So, of course, most of the figure is casted in this charcoal black plastic, which, I think it looks nice. It suits Godzilla. That's his color. So, yeah. Not really much to say there. The toenails and the fingernails are painted this yellowish color. Excuse me, I have shaky hands, and I think that they are painted very nicely. Going to the dorsal plates here, we can see that they are painted a very bright shade of gray, and they sort of get darker, like, in the center here, which I think looks really nice. I mean, on mine, there's a little bit of, a little bit of a paint chip there, but overall, the painting on the dorsal plates looks really nice. And one thing I really like is that they actually painted they actually kind of painted the inner side of the outer dorsal plates. Now, I remember they did this with the Bandai vinyl of the Godzilla 2000 figure, the 2018 re-release. Actually, I think it was 27. I could be wrong, but anyway, that figure, they just sort of painted the outside of the dorsal plates, but not so much the inside, which was kind of lame, not gonna lie. But they actually decided to paint the inside of the dorsal plates, or at least some of it, which I think looks nice. So, yeah, I think that's really cool. And this nice gray color goes from the back of the head here, all the way to the end of the tail, which I think is really cool. Usually what they do, they just sort of stop there, but no, they decided to keep going. And I think that looks really nice. So, yeah, that's awesome. Now, going to the head here, we can see that the eyes are painted white with brown pupils. And I kind of want to rant here for a second. In the movie, we never really saw the white of Godzilla's eyes. So whenever they make a Godzilla 91 figure, or even a Godzilla 89 figure, they always give him white eyes. And we never really see that in the movie. And if we do, it's very brief. So, yeah, I don't know why they always do it. It's not a bad thing. I don't mind it, but it's just something that I just find, kind of annoying. But, like I said, that's just me. But, anyway, going to the mouth here, we can see that this is painted a very nice shade of red with a very nice glossy finish to it. And the teeth are painted a brownish, tannish color, which I think looks really nice. All the teeth are painted very, very cleanly. And yeah. So, that's pretty much it for the painting on this figure. And the painting on this figure is very nice. Like I said, it's not the best looking paint app I've seen on a Bandai vinyl, but, for what it is, I think it looks very nice, and it's a little above average. So, honestly, I'd say the paint gets a pass. Now we'll take a look at the articulation, and like I've said in the past two videos, these are Bandai vinyls, so yeah, I don't really have too much to say. The arms can move forward and backwards that much. And the legs can't really move 360. They can, but you kind of have to force it. And if I'm being honest, I would not recommend you do that. But without forcing anything, they kick forward that much and backwards that much. And that's pretty much it for the articulation. Not a whole lot, but it's a Bandai vinyl. What else do you expect? It's fine, so I'd say it gets a pass. Now we'll be taking a look at the sculpt, and the sculpting on this figure is pretty much perfect. It is literally one-to-one to how he looked in the movie. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else to say, really. I guess if there's one thing I could say, I guess the dorsal plates, like all the ridges, I guess they could be thinner, but like I said in previous videos, well, first of all, that's kind of a stretch to begin with, but also vinyl is kind of a weird material to work with, so all the thinner parts, they usually have to make them thicker, because vinyl, like I said, it's kind of weird. It's weird, so they have to make sacrifices like that. But like I said, the thinner ridges on the dorsal plates, that's really a stretch. Overall, I think the sculpting on this figure is pretty much perfect and literally one-to-one to what we see in the movie. So yeah, the sculpting on this figure, it looks great. So yeah, it definitely gets a pass. I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry, but yeah, full pass. Now we'll be taking a look at the detailing, and the detailing on this figure is very nice. So let's take a closer look. So, of course, throughout the entirety of the body, we can see all these very nice scales that are very nicely defined. Like on the head there, all the scales there look great, excuse me. And all the creases and everything like that, like in the body here, looks nice. There are very minor folds to give off that guy in a suit effect, which we've seen this before in a lot of other Godzilla figures, but it's still really nice to see. I like that. I know, companies out there try to make, they try to make Godzilla as if he was a real monster, but I kind of like the guy in the suit effect. I don't know, it just has this charm to it, rather than it just being this accurate, proportionate looking monster. But yeah, the legs are detailed very nicely. The musculature here looks great, and again, more creases and folds and everything like that. The dorsal plates as well have a lot of very nice defining to them, all the little ridges and the scales and everything like that. Very nice. And going to the tail here, all the scales again are just very nicely defined. And overall, they just look great. And underneath, it doesn't look great, but, it's the underside. It's not the end of the world. So, yeah. And that's pretty much it for the detail on this figure. So, yeah, the detailing on this figure is fantastic. So, the detailing, I'd say, gets a pass. Now to do some size comparisons, here is the Bandai Movie Monster Series Mecha King Ghidorah, the 2018 release. Here is the Bandai Movie Monster Series Gamera, 1995. And here is the original Bandai Movie Monster Series Godzilla 91 figure, or as I called him in my original review, the Monster Island Buddies Godzilla. I gotta be honest, this guy's way better. This figure's nostalgic for me, don't get me wrong, but this figure overall just looks better. So, yeah. So, yeah, there they all are next together. And of course, I almost forgot. Here we have Dr. Billy Grant and some hand sanitizer. So at the end of the day, should you get this guy? Honestly, I'd say yeah. If you just want a nice looking Heisei Godzilla figure in your collection, then honestly, I think this is the way to go. It's simplistic. It looks nice. The painting, it gets the job done. It's not the best painting I've seen on a figure, but like I just said, it gets the job done. And it's not horribly expensive either. This figure, it's a little more expensive than how Bandai vinyls usually are, but overall, not bad at all. I ended up paying $30 for this guy, which, again, it's $10 more than what I'd usually pay for a Bandai vinyl, but it's still not a horrible price. I feel like the reason why this guy's more expensive is because the paint apps on this guy are a lot nicer. And to be fair, if I'm being honest, I'd rather pay more for, a nicely painted figure than less for a very cheaply painted figure. But that's just me. But overall, yeah, I think that this is a very nice figure. So if you can, I'd say get it. You can get this figure from places like Awesome Collector and Hobby Link Japan. Those are great sites to usually buy Bandai vinyls. So yeah, so $30, not bad at all. And yeah, I would definitely recommend this guy. So yeah. Anyway, that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, Zack out.